Ugarkovic loves to move around the park and keep the ball cycling between teammates. Cohen, Ugarkovic, great underlapping run, and it sits up almost for Mehmeti. It is going to be a City corner.
Wonderful passage of play from Melbourne City down the right-hand side. There's plenty of space to play in this game, both ways. See here what a beautiful slide rule pass that is. And then the underlapping run from Ugarkovic, which we know he's so capable of. Good delivery into the path of Mehmeti. Didn't quite get the purchase he was looking for.
Second corner of the game for City. In swinger at the near post and causes a bit of a scramble. Combination of Barr and Kunga able to put it back out. The Ecuadorian centre-back trying to organise his fellow defenders. Cohen's corner. And this time it clears all and sundry out for a goal kick.
Well, that's disappointing. It just releases the pressure valve from Cohen way too deep for the way Melbourne City set up that attacking set piece. But they're probing Melbourne City down the right-hand side, as Perth are. Down Melbourne City's left-hand side when they're in possession, particularly in transition.
City will feel as though they've settled into a rhythm now. Molitides. And Atkinson able to win the throw. Beach, great releasing pass. Away goes Talbot, down the right. Cohen was really motoring, and so Lizalaski had to be on the money to clear the ball away.
Well, in the modern game, goalkeepers have to be able to play with their feet, but that was a brilliant release from Patrick Beach.
Talbot wasting no time whipping in a ball. No one really arriving to attack it at the top of the box. Perth just happy to kick and clear. It feels as though after a fairly even first 10 minutes, Melbourne City is starting to take over. Cohen. Possession tells its own story, Mossy.
It does, you're spot on, Teo. They've just been able to build some sustained pressure through that statistic we just saw flash up, 71% possession.
Perth looking to counter. Faisal. Taggart waits in the middle. Abdul Faisal. And Perth have to concede 10 metres. Lizalaski. Faisal. Whipping it onto the head of Suprayan. Raised boot from Lizalaski. A little risky. Didn't make contact though. Pennington back to Barr. And now Ollie Sail. Mossy, there is a totally different energy around HBF Park compared to when Perth were last at home against Wellington a couple of weeks ago.
There is, absolutely, Teo. And we were doing that one together. The atmosphere inside HBF Park is really good. Players have to rise to that occasion. Fans are getting behind their side to try and help them find that first 3 points of the season. It's
been a glory lineup that's gone through a different incarnation every week in this first month of the season. Here's Molitides now. Doubles back. Atkinson. Fancies a shot from distance, but it was always rising.
As is the temperature. Melbourne City are just starting to really exert their authority on this game. Perth are going to have to get hold of that ball and keep it for longer periods.
Here's Atkinson again. His most recent A-League goal, he's only scored 4 in his career, was against Perth back in December of 2021. Of course, he's been playing overseas in that time. Here he is on the ball now. Atkinson. Quinn. Switch of flanks from Schreiber. Talbot. Cohen. The edge of the box it falls. Politidis making a presence. Atkinson hangs it up. And players just lost where the ball landed there. Setting sun may have been a factor in that. Talbot and Cohen, who switches right back on. Schreiber. And the pass is picked off. Ostler feeds Carluccio. Now Caicedo's gone quiet just for the last 5 minutes or so the fans will be thrilled to see him back on the ball. Unmissable with those fluoro yellow boots as well.
Yeah, did well to draw the foul as well, but just talking about Perth in possessions, we see a replay of that foul, and there was a bit of ball in there. Talking of Perth in possession, Taras Gamulka during the week said that Perth will be on the front foot. They're not going to park the bus. You would expect that given the talk around the way David Zadrilic wants to play. If you look at their possession statistics over the first 3 rounds, 30-odd% against MacArthur, and that was a night to forget, of course, losing 6-1, 30-odd% against the Mariners away last week, and then against Wellington at home, 50% possession. Well, we know it's not just about having the ball, it's what you do with it that matters. Certainly, the style of football hasn't been embedded just yet.
Caicedo lined out by Talbot. Play continues. The Colombian is down at the sideline. His teammates are happy to keep the ball moving. Ostler left the ball behind. Politidis trying to capitalise. Cuts it back neatly. Kai Truan. And then played it forward. Talbot. Cohen. A deflection. Ostler can't quite get it away. Andreas Cohen cuts it back to the edge of the box, and Schreiber on his non-preferred right foot. No deflection. That's out for a goal kick.
And again, a good passage of play from Melbourne City. Kern with a really intelligent cut back to the edge of the box for Schreiber. Just got it all wrong. He was under pressure, to be fair. But again, another sweet passage of play from Melbourne City.
Ollie Sailor's that a bit of sunburn or just a bruise on his nose. Bit of restart play. Kunga plays it back to Barr. Zalewski down the line. Faisal. Gamulka. Melbourne City do win the ball back, but they're going to concede all the way back to their goalkeeper. See Perth starting to hunt the ball in the attacking half, but that might leave the odd gap. Melbourne City don't want to rush.
Has to be better from Perth Glory. No point Carluccio going one out, trying to press on his own. The midfield have to come with him.
Vugarkovic with a little grab on Gamulka. Play continues. Ostler has to stop and concede 5 metres, and now Pennington to the centre of defence. Line pass was ambitious from Gamulka. Schreiber. Politidis. He's got Andreas Quinn at the edge of the box, decides to go back to Schreiber. Politidis, Quinn, turned into a wall of purple. Atkinson leaves the ball with Politidis. Long chain of passes, but it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. And as the ball goes out, it's time to check in down at ground level with former Socceroo Jacob Burns.
G'day guys. Well, as you mentioned, what an electric atmosphere it has been. A great start to the game. Both teams end-to-end football, but the concerning factor, as Mossy touched on and you guys have touched on, is obviously Glory keeping a bit more possession of the ball and a bit more quality on the ball. City have had a number of chances now, and Ollie Sarr's made a couple of great saves, and they seem to be struggling with City stretching the pitch. Stretching the pitch very, very well, getting their fullbacks on the ball, and then players, the midfielders, are making these underlapping runs, which Glory are found wanting at the minute, and a long way for the midfielders to track.
Jacob, are you hearing either manager shout a great deal from the sidelines instruction-wise?
Yeah, look, I'm right behind Zrilla here, and he's obviously concerned and with them not stretching the pitch and not going one out, as you guys have mentioned in the press. They have to do it collectively. If one or two go and they beat that first line of the press, and the game gets stretched and they're outnumbered in the second phase. So he's trying to get them to obviously pick the moments that they are going, and they're doing that collectively. And also, they want to be better when they get the ball. They don't want to be churning over cheap possession, because as you see, City have got them pinned now, and they've had them pinned for the last 10-15 minutes. So they'll want to rectify that. He's clearly frustrated on the sidelines here, and wants that to be improved, obviously.
Thank you, Jacob. We will keep checking in with Jacob Burns on the sideline as the game continues. Ugarkovic on the turn. That was quite a lengthy passage of play where City recycled the ball quite a few times, and it ends with a set piece.
Yeah, and some very brave defending from Lewis Kanga here. You can see himself throwing himself at that ball. Looks like he might need some attention from the trainers. I think he caught the ball in the midriff. Certainly the volley had some power behind it.
Well, he's found his bearings, and he's fired himself back up as much as anyone.
Six-pack to the rescue.
29 years of age. 3 Ecuador caps some years ago now, though. We've seen a couple of corners from this side already. Cohen short. Now Quinn drifts it high. Corner comes to little, but City retain possession. Caicedo pressing. Beach. Not wasting any time, but that's a slice. Suprayan saw it was going shallow and committed himself to the ball. Now an excellent pass to swing out to the right flank. Cohen. Defence stood off there. Kanga came out eventually. Schreiber. Talbot. Callum Talbot, a deflected cross. He's appealing for a corner kick. And the referee agrees.
Talbot cuts inside onto his right foot there. Puts it into a decent area with the aid of a deflection, of course. Corner from this side with Jonathan Cohen. His delivery has been mixed. so far in this opening 26 or 7 minutes.
And he's given the crossed arm signal 3 times, whatever that means. It's honing right in on the target. And Ollie Sale climbing over his own teammates to make the claim.
And he needed strong hands, strong fingers then, Ollie Sale, didn't he? In traffic. Showed very good hands there. Under probably pressure more from his own player than he was anyone in a sky blue shirt.
Lockie Barr, the player he was climbing over and reaching above the head of. Gamulka. Now Pennington. He collapses to the turf. No whistle forthcoming. Andreas Cohen underneath. And the touch is going to fall just the wrong side of the post for Mehmeti.
Well, that was almost a very, very cute finish from Mehmeti. It was a good run. The ball was probably on the wrong side of him for what he wanted to do. He couldn't wrap his left toe around it. As we see Quen deliver it into his path. It was almost a very cute finish. Credit to the Perth defence for scappering the opportunity as well.
Up to 5 corners already for Melbourne City. Cohen taking them from both sides. This one an outswinger into the near post. Gamulka heads away. Cohen drops the shoulder. He keeps going, he looks for contact, and the referee doesn't take an interest. Had a good view there, did Daniel Cook. Didn't reach for his whistle.
He did. I was more thinking he might have reached for his card on Cohen here. As you can see, he really looks for it. I think Pennington does very well to pull out of it.
And we're just going to wait here. Kate Jakovitz and Sean Evans are the 2 referees in the VAR booth. They may feel... We have dismissed it offhandedly here, Mossy. Maybe they feel a little bit different.
Let's keep our powder dry then, Teo, until we see what happens.
See the earpiece in for the referee, getting those communications from the VAR room. And the on-field decision of no penalty is upheld. Play can resume. Cohen from deep. Cohen. Won tightly by Zalaski. And that's an important win for the Perth Glory left back. Pass not able to match the tackle. Schreiber. You wouldn't know it's only his 10th A-League game, Zane Schreiber. They've really entrusted him to run the midfield tonight. Politidis. Back to Schreiber once more. Quen, and Politidis couldn't trap the ball under his right foot. Caicedo. And he left a boot in here. Melbourne City are going to get a free kick out of almost nothing.
Well, that's fantastic from Quen. It was his pass from the touchline originally. Wasn't able to be brought under control. And then his reaction to win the ball back. Fantastic. You've got players like that showing that intent and that mindset. No one else has got an excuse not to.
So half an hour gone, still no goals. Melbourne City turning the screws in a territory and possession sense. Ollie Sale hoping his defence can prevent him having to go to work right here. Cohen. Oh, the sneak attack. He decided to shoot direct on goal. Either that or it was a convenient miss hit.
Yeah, and again, his delivery is inconsistent from these set pieces.
Zalaski pops over the top. Touchdown by Carluccio. Taggart was in the vicinity. It's a rare forward foray for the Glory.
We saw the quality of Cohen's left foot for that chance for Steven Ugarkovic early in the game, the glancing header. That was top shelf, but that was in open play. Since then, his set-piece delivery to be desired.
Schreiber has to hustle to chase his own touch, and he's wiped out Carluccio in doing so. He's back to his feet. And Taggart, the ball ricocheting off his shins. Perth pressing aggressively, but Talbot's the outlet, and Ugarkovic underneath. He finds Cohen, running at Kunga. Cohen, Quinn, and he just scooped it in the end. Got into a shooting position in the pocket, sent it well high.
Yeah, his first touch lets him down. The ball's just under his body, and he's got to dig it out. So we see the ball played into him there. The first touch is just too close to him, underneath his body, and then he can't generate the power and the trajectory that he's looking for. But another warning sign for Perth Glory: too much space for a player of that quality, or any player, on the edge of their box.
As we said, he's not been a prolific scorer over his career. 18 goals in more than 200 senior appearances, so they come occasionally. Foul here.
Well, again, that's another example of Suprayan tracking Caicedo into midfield, not giving him the opportunity to turn and face.
Ball out to the right. Osler giving chase. Atkinson beats him to the ball. Now, too clever by half. He backheels it out for a glory throw. Just trying to find a deflection on the way. Bar. Kunga. Bit of a cheap giveaway of possession, truth be told. And Politidis now trying to exploit some space down the left. He's got Mehmeti motoring in the middle, and the ball won't arrive. Kunga determined to get back and make amends. He might be protesting to his fellow defenders, but it was his slice pass that gave possession away.
He can throw his arms in the air all he likes. It's just not good enough for a player of his standing to give the ball away as he did in midfield. To be fair to him, he showed the right mindset to get back and atone for his earlier mistake. You can see there, Adam Taggart, Perth Glory's press, he's just not in sync. He's looking behind him as he goes to press the ball. And Melbourne City have an easy out just in behind that front press, the front line of the press. That is extremely frustrating for front players when they start the press and the rest of the team don't come with them.
See the passes in own half stat appearing there. City going to be running away with many of these possession stats regardless of where they are. Opposition half is almost 100 differential already. Suprayan, Mehmeti, Schreiber, had Ugarkovic on. Ugarkovic just got caught by the backtracking Faisal. Talbot crashes in. Faisal refuses to be beaten. Now Luzulaski. Straight onto the head of Schreiber, but he gives it back to Gamulka. Playing against one of his former teams. He was most recently at Brisbane, but of course was a real regular under Patrick Kisnorbo at Melbourne City.
Once again, Perth keep the ball for 2, maybe 3 passes, and they give up cheap possession. Part of the credit is to Melbourne City for their press, but all said and done, there's been a lot of unforced errors from Perth, giving away cheap possession.
Caicedo a little late here, but the ball runs on. Faisal. Caicedo. Here's the chance. What can the Glory manufacture, though? Here, the groans of the crowd as Faisal wasn't really able to bring his teammates into the game, and a goal kick is a disappointing outcome.
Yeah, it is. I don't think Wazalowski helped him there. Faisal, once he got himself into a bit of a corner, he needed an outlet behind him. Wazalowski was looking for an overlap, and there really wasn't enough of the football field for an overlapping run there.
Seen a few long goal kicks so far, but City happy to play out now as the half wears on. Comes to a little low. Trent Osler, the right wing back in this Glory formation at present. How far and how confident Beach is to roam out of his penalty area when he's needed as that extra defender to pass around the back line. Once again, a pinpoint pass into the attacking half. Politidis. And it just gets the better of Mehmeti. Caicedo. Through comes Gamulka. Faisal challenged, but couldn't quite get away. Suprayan. Cohen. Sees Talbot on the overlap, and that's where the ball goes. Talbot. Now the shot from the angle. Brilliant goal! Melbourne City take the lead in spectacular fashion. It is a rocket from Steven Ugarkovic outside the area. Ollie Sale is losing it, but Melbourne City don't care. They lead 1-0. All smiles for the visiting team.
Well, he had a couple of siders, didn't he, Steven Ugarkovic? One from his head inside the box, one from outside. And this one on the Harvey Norman replay needs very few words because it is a wonder strike. And he just barely puts his laces through it into that far corner. Brilliant strike by the Melbourne City midfielder. And that's the positive of that situation we just saw. The negative is from a Perth Glory perspective, and you could see Ollie Sale, he was ropeable. And I would say with two things, giving away possession cheaply. Once again, they've had their warnings. And secondly, putting no pressure on Ugarkovic on the edge of the box.
He scored in the 8-0 back in April. And as we previously mentioned, he had a goal wearing Newcastle colours against the Glory. His third career against them and 17th career in game number 225 of the Isuzu UTE A-League Men's. When he does pop up for a goal, sometimes they are spectacular like that.
That was a fantastic strike, and nothing less than Melbourne City deserved, and probably nothing less than Perth Glory deserved, to be honest. How cheaply they've been giving up possession. They've had plenty of warnings, yet to heed them, and now they're behind on the scoreboard.
And as we tick into the final 5 minutes of the first half, Glory have not created a huge amount in attack, and now they need to chase the game. And that's where City could perhaps become even more dangerous. Gaps and space will be to their liking if Glory leave them. Atkinson.
If I'm wrong, Teo, but I think Ugarkovic's last goal was against Perth Glory around about the 14th of April.
Yeah, in the 8-0, Mossy. So
I guess the question is who didn't score.
Well, in fact, I can tell you he's the only remaining player from the scorers that night in the squad for this game.
Amazing.
So as much as it was party time for Melbourne City in that match and a desperately needed end to the season for the Glory, the squad turnover has been pretty extensive, both in terms of organic player movement and also injury. How much does City just try to force the issue before half-time? Do they keep playing at more or less the same tempo in the same way, or do you think there might be a little burst here before the break?
Oh, I think they just keep doing what they're doing. They're getting the lion's share of possession, partly because of the way they're keeping the ball, partly because of the way Perth are giving them the ball back. But I think that man there, Aurelio Vidmar, will be reasonably happy.
Might be even happier in a moment here. Just a bit of a loose touch, and Lizalowski sweeps the leg to clear the ball away. So less happy.
Is a coach ever happy?
Well, you imagine that some of that frustration will be alleviated for the halftime team talk.
I mean, if he's frustrated about anything, it'll be that they haven't got more to show for his first half performance than one goal.
Schreiber, Atkinson. Played it to Mehmeti. He's got runners on the right. Cohen. Road to challenge. Cohen, Mehmeti, and two. Would you believe it? Stephen Ugarkovic has scored again. And he goes and gives attention to his fallen teammate, Jonathan Cohen, but he's the one taking the plaudits. 2 goals in a handful of minutes for Ugarkovic.
Well, in the end, on the Harvey Norman replay, it's a smart finish from Ugarkovic, but this is absolutely horrible defending from Perth Glory. There might be a slight hint of offside. Whether it's going to be checked or not. Not so much from Ugarkovic, but as the ball falls loose, but I think the goal will stand, but gee whiz, Perth Glory at 6s and 7s inside their own box. David Zadrilic cannot wait to get his team into the dressing room at half-time. I dare say there might be some paint being stripped off the walls.
Well, in a season where Luke Bratton and now Anthony Caceres have been called up to the Socceroos, would Stephen Ugarkovic now dare to dream, Mossy? It has been, I was going to wait for VAR here, but it's been one for the believers in some of these central midfield players that have been great veterans of the A-League.
Yeah, it goes to show. Luke Bratton got a chance, and Anthony Caceres now at 32 gets his chance. You never say never.
Fourth official is signalling 3 additional minutes. We're still yet to kick off. So just hold the phone for now on this 2-0 lead for Melbourne City. Ugarkovic has never scored a double in his A-League career until tonight. In fact, the most number of goals he had scored in a season was 4 back in the 2019-20 campaign when he was at the Newcastle Jets. Netted 3 times last year in 27 games. And with play restarting, his double tonight, a career first, means he's already got 2 for this season. Pennington. Glory halved the deficit before the break. They've got 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Melbourne City, they want to pile on the pain. Big deflection here, might be unkind. Barr left a boot in, and Andreas Cohen was the recipient of it. So here's the VAR call. Ugarkovic is clearly onside, but obviously there's a fallen player lying in the box as well.
Yeah, not interfering with play, obviously. But, yeah, at first glance, I thought there was maybe a hint, but that shows clearly a legal goal's been scored by Stephen Ugarkovic to get his double.
Andreas Cohen here will be desperately hoping that doesn't become a corky, because he looks sore. what was a really bouncing crowd for the first 15-20 minutes when we had a bit of a seesaw sort of a game. It's become a little bit more subdued as Melbourne City have capitalised really on a 20 to 25 good minutes of total control in the contest, and now they've cashed in 2 goals.
Yeah, that's right. And you do feel for Ollie Sale. He's pulled off a couple of good saves in the first half, but absolutely ropeable for the 2 goals. And he'd been barking at his defence before that as well about closing the space in and around their box. Again, they didn't heed the warnings. They now find themselves 2 goals behind. Taggart
waiting for support to try and get forward and help, but difficult for Carluccio to make ground. Shriver clears away. Final seconds of the first half if Perth give it the hurry up.
I wonder if the second goal straightened out that little frown on Aurelio Vidmar's face that we saw a few minutes ago.
Zalewski, stoppage time up. Just looking for one last surge at the end of the half. And that slide challenge stops him swinging in a ball.
And guess who it came from?
Well, it's been the man of the moment, Stephen Ugarkovic, with 2 goals. The first time in his career he scored twice in the same Isuzu UTE A-League men's game. And he gets the high 10 from Callum Talbot to take matters into the rooms at half-time. Perth Glory, a bright enough start, but didn't really rain chances down on the Melbourne City goal. And then once the possession tally settled, Perth Glory, well, Melbourne City really took control. And the half-time score is Perth Glory 0, Melbourne City 2. We'll be back with the half-time show on the other side of this short break.
Now a bit of space for Craig Goodwin to advance into and pull the trigger. Oh, what a goal! That's a stunner from Craig Goodwin back in the city where he is still a hero to many. Boss on the overlap, still there, Aidan O'Neill, spine into the net by Nishan Valupale to set the seal on the win for Australia.
Welcome to the Hungry Jacks half-time show, and the half-time score is Melbourne City 2 leading Perth Glory 0. Stephen Ugarkovic has been at the heart of a lot of the action. Lots of set pieces in the first 15 or 20 minutes, and then total dominance of possession saw Melbourne City really take over this game and ultimately get their reward via this strike across the face of the penalty area and nestling in the corner of the net. Perth Glory fans trying to find fun wherever they can around the ground. They've been thoroughly entertained, Phil Moss, but unfortunately for them, by the away team.
Yeah, that's right. Perth Glory started brightly. There was some good energy about the opening minutes, but just slowly but surely Melbourne City put their stamp on the game and started dominating possession and then using it well. And Ugarkovic was all industry in midfield and 2 moments of absolute quality as well.
So let's take a look at the highlights from that first half, the Harvey Norman highlights. And as we get into them, Perth Glory, first 10 minutes or so, lots of energy, but they didn't turn it into an actual shot on target.
No, that's right. And then slowly but surely they started giving the ball away. And there's a Ugarkovic sighter from outside the box. If that wasn't a warning, nothing was. This is a chance to Ugarkovic off the head. Some really good delivery from Jonathan Cohen. I think he's been inconsistent with his delivery from set pieces. And that's a chance to Mehmeti. It was unlucky for the youngster, 17-year-old, getting his start tonight. And you can see it's all Melbourne City, really. They're just peppering Perth Glory's goal, and then they finally got their go-ahead.
So what do the numbers tell us? I mean, 70-30 possession is not a surprise in a Melbourne City game, but is there any ray of light there for the Glory?
Well, not if they don't learn from their first half mistakes and keep the ball, but I also think it comes down to their press. It's not coordinated, it's not in sync. They're giving too much space behind the first line of the press, the front two, when they go and press the first ball. And if they don't get that right, then nothing else will matter because Melbourne City will pick them apart.
Let's get the insights now of former Socceroo Jacob Burns, who's down at ground level. Jacob, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, look, it's been all City. As you guys have mentioned, after the first 10 minutes, I think City are well-deservedly 2-0 up. They've dominated all the shots, all the possession, and particularly in midfield. I think, this game, they're getting overrun, Glory, in the midfield. The midfield three, the mobility, they look stronger, they look fitter, they're industrious. Ugarkovic is having one hell of a game, but also Andreas Kuhn and the young fellow Schreider in the middle of the park, they are dictating the pace of the play. They're making forward runs, and we're kind of Glory being left wanting. And you can see Andreas has really stood out for me. Although Ugarkovic has got the goals, Andreas is picking up these wonderful pockets of space, as you'd expect from your attacking midfielders. Links the play well, links the guys in, and I think that even if he keeps doing the things that he's doing, he'll pop up on the scoreboard too, or at least a couple of assists. But what an intelligent player, just the way he links the play.
Is there anything to indicate, Jacob, that Melbourne City lost Marco Tilio and Andrew Naboot? I mean, they don't look like they've missed a beat, at least tonight. It's an encouraging start to a new look lineup.
Yeah, look, the goals have come from midfield, and I dare say that if you had Andrew Nabil and up front and Tilio, they might be on the score sheet here tonight as well. But you can see that in their play. Vidi's got him stretched, he's got him playing well, they all accept the ball in tight spaces very, very well. Their goals now, you can see, can come from, midfielders making forward runs. The young fellas up front, obviously they'll be tested and tried. But yeah, I think they all now realise that they've all got to be pushing hard and all chipping in. And when you've got goals like that from Ugarkovic and midfielders going forward, I think they've got a lot of strengths going forward.
And Burnsy, we've spoken about the press from Perth Glory and what they're not doing in possession, keeping the ball. Anything that you've heard from Zrilla in the first half, you're pretty close to him on the bench, that you think he may change in the second half?
Yeah, look, he's clearly frustrated. As you guys have mentioned, we alluded to, the full press and the high press, it can't be one out. You know, you've seen Taggart or Faisal, Carluccio going one out, and then once you do that and the game gets stretched, they're in behind your first line of press and you're backtracking and you're doing a hell of a lot of work. So, you know, even when they're getting the ball, they're turning over the possession in one or two passes and they look taxed. They look like they've worked so hard and disjointed that when they do get the ball, they're giving it up. And you know, let's not take anything away from City. They've come here and their game plan is working, and they've really got to, you know, make some adjustments, some changes to either personnel or the way that they're going about the game.
Awesome to hear from you, Jacob. We will keep checking in through the second half. Jacob Burns down on the sidelines for us there. Well, let's talk about the star man of this first half. Stephen Ugarkovic had never scored a double in his Isuzu UTE A-League career. Prior to tonight, he had 16 goals in 224 games coming in. And Mossy, he is having a night out in this one.
And the last time he scored was against Perth Glory in April this year. So he obviously loves playing against Perth Glory. But his strike from outside the box was class. He was getting into the box on regular occasions. There's a strike. He fairly puts his laces through that, doesn't he? That's a beautiful strike. It's one of those he probably didn't even feel come off the boot. It was so clean. And that was the go-ahead goal for his side. And here's the finish from Ugarkovic with his left foot, his other foot, and it was a tidy finish as well.
No surprise about the Paramount Plus player index. That's a massive gap. I know we're scaling it differently this year, so it's no longer out of 100. That's more than double the next highest. And, you know, Atkinson has definitely been prominent. Schreiber, we heard from Jacob Burns about how impressed he was with him too.
Yeah, that's right. And Atkinson's really impressed me in the first half. Playing out of position, by the way, at left back. Interested that he wasn't in the Socceroo conversation and hasn't been picked under the first two Tony Popovic camps, but if he keeps playing the way he did in that first half, I'm sure he'll come into the reckoning.
So that has been your Hungry Jacks half-time show. Gee, really a lot to do for the Perth Glory. And as we leave the Hungry Jacks half-time show, don't forget it is 20 years of the A-League, and we have a very infamous moment from a previous Perth Glory versus Melbourne City match to reflect on.
Jorvich and Liam Reddy's joining in. Oh, where's he going? Ridiculous, he's off his line. Fitzgerald scores! Utterly crazy. Liam Reddy just went walkabout and he's miles off his line.
You've probably heard the saying, if you can count your real mates on one hand, you're doing pretty well. But with the 7-seat Isuzu UTE, you've got room for a couple more. From kicking around the city to kicking back around the campfire, nothing gets you your ordinary style and comfort quite like the Isuzu UTE. Live your way in the Isuzu UTE.
Enjoy excitement and adventure in the 7-seat Isuzu UTE. Go your own way. All right, big second half ahead. Let's hear it for your Perth Glory as they come back onto the pitch.
So it's about to start the second half here between Perth Glory and Melbourne City. Of course, it's not always about the score sheet, it's about the experience of supporting football. And as we kick off the second half, this week Perth Glory did lose one of its most loyal lifelong fans, Aaron Cam, aged 35, passed away. Rest in peace. And the entire Perth Glory supporter base, and also our very own Simon Hill here at 10 Football and Paramount Plus, paying tribute during the week to a fanatical Perth Glory supporter. At the start of the second half, though, things have gone from bad to worse, and Andreas Cohen has scored to make it 3-0. Not even 30 seconds on the clock. Chaotic defending, and the Austrian strikes.
Well, best laid plans at half-time have just gone out the window for Perth Glory to try and get themselves back into this match. That's calamitous from Perth Glory to hand it to Quen on a platter. On the Harvey Norman replay, Ollie Sale, who was actually one of his side's better players in the first half, gets it all wrong. And it just falls for Cohen. Look at that, off the right shin. Falls for Cohen. Pennington was pushed aside way too easily, and Cohen does the rest and just drives it at the target, and it finds the back of the Perth Glory net for a 3-goal advantage, and this could get ugly.
It's his first goal since January, when he scored in the Greek League for his previous club, Atromitos. So welcome to Australia. Jacob Burns called it. He said in the second half he wouldn't be surprised if he got on the score sheet. It took all of 30 seconds. And as they say, halftime team talk out the window.
Yeah, that's a coach-killing moment right there. We haven't even had a chance to talk about the substitutes.
Yeah, for those of you who've only just joined us at halftime, Trent Hostler and Abdul Faisal subbed off at the break for Brandon O'Neill and Nikola Mileušnić, who's back after his hamstring injury in round one, away to MacArthur. So he's got 45 minutes in the legs. Glory with a long throw here, cleared away by Samuel Suprayan. See confirmation there of the subs up in the corner of your screen. Half a chance here for the Glory. And a header by Shriver, now the volley. Carluccio denied, and then bombs away from Pennington. There's a teasing cross into the area from Mileušnić. Promising first involvement back in A-League action for the first time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, very good. Mileušnić, we know what he can do. He's in those attacking positions. It's going to take a lot more of those moments to find any ray of sunshine for Perth Glory.
At the start of the night, Melbourne City needed to really boost their goal difference if they wanted to knock Auckland out of second place on the live table. Auckland with a game in hand, they're on bye round. Tonight is Melbourne City's 4th match. Auckland on 9 points with +5 goal difference. Melbourne City, as things stand, on 9 points and +3. Of course, Auckland the only team in the league yet to concede a goal this season as well. Mileušnić trying to barge through and took on the entire Melbourne City defence single-handedly.
While we're talking statistics, the last time Melbourne City scored 3 goals in a game. It was that 8-goal win over Perth Glory on the 14th of April. I'm sure some of those scars might just be starting to reopen.
It's hard to believe they could, though, given that that was in Melbourne, this is in Perth. And as we mentioned in the first half, the only goal scorer in the squad today for Melbourne City was Stephen Ugarkovic. The other 7 goals accounted for by players either not playing or no longer at the club. And Beach just slices that away for a throw-in. Carluccio. Atkinson's header. O'Neill was trying to find a gap. Subrayan. Up and under header. Definitely not a clearance. Perth Glory can try to advance. Caicedo. Possession won in midfield by the combination of Mehmeti and Ugarkovic. Politidis. It's Harry Politidis. Well, the eyes lit up there, but the shot just kept rising. In his 16th game tonight, still yet to open his A-League account.
Yeah, and you can see Perth really opening up now. Melbourne City taking full advantage. Harry Politidis getting forward. Certainly Ollie Sale had enough concern to throw himself at that.
Taggart will chase this back pass all the way down to Beach. No nonsense. He decides to clear emphatically. Had a quick scan through the record books at half-time. We'll address that in a moment, because they might be getting rewritten as we speak. Melbourne City's biggest away win to the Perth Glory. You can choose either 2-0, 3-1 or 4-2. They've never won by 3 clear goals. So as things stand, this would be Melbourne City's record away win against the Glory. Beach is comfortable to roam out of his area. Taggart says enough of that. I'm going to at least worry you a little. High clearance. Lizolaski. Now the second ball for O'Neill. Miluznic. Great play by Cohen. Had the ball on a string. And the most recent goal scorer, Andreas Cohen. Mehmeti. Bard dispossessed him. Kunga. Carluccio. And Schreiber commits the foul. Advantage given. Gamulka. And not able to find Miluznic with an ambitious pass. Schreiber. Politidis had a chance just a minute or so ago. Schreiber. Cohen. Glory chasing shadows at the moment, but Melbourne City at least having to retreat into their defensive half. Talbot. Lugarkovic loses out to Kunga. It's a curious back pass though, putting all sorts of pressure on O'Neill, and now a more direct clearance. Taggart brought the ball down. Gomulka. Now Glory back to their own keeper, Ollie Sale. It's been a long and winding phase of play without a stoppage. Subrayan. Cohen. Now Atkinson. A misplaced pass. Perth take over. Kunga. Underhit from Milosnic and nearly Mehmeti away. Caicedo. Headed down by Atkinson. Subrayan. Oh, he's almost had his pocket picked by Adam Taggart. And in his desperation to keep the ball in, it ended up back at the feet of Samuel Subrayan. Beach. Schreiber to Lugarkovic. Talbot on the move. Beautiful pass, hits him in stride. Talbot, jinks inside, now back outside. Cohen, oh, they're treading on each other's toes. Mehmeti tried to backheel, it was blocked. Cohen! And at last, a 4-minute phase of play ends with a shot over the crossbar and nearly ended in a beautiful goal.
And another embarrassing moment for Perth Glory. That found the back of the net, but good delivery here from Talbot. He cuts inside, outside, turns Lizalowski inside and out, and it just wouldn't quite fall. Perth couldn't get a boot on it either. And in the end, it's Cohen who gets a strike away and misses the target. You can hear Perth Glory's supporters. They've got their voice. I'm not sure it's what the Perth Glory players want to hear. Channing who touched the ball.
The gallows humour is active from the shed. Grabbing the shirt on Milosnic and a foul right in front of Aurelio Vidmar in the Melbourne City technical area. O'Neill. Through comes Talbot. Cohen, well, nearly away. A little lunge from Lizalowski was enough to stop his forward progress. What is Aurelio Vidmar looking for in this situation now with his team 3-0 up? Not coughing up chances, seemingly with licence to create.
Well, I think he'll be looking to really go for the kill here. There's a team there for the taking. 3-0's a good scoreline, of course, away from home. It's a chance for Melbourne City to really show some ruthlessness. Knowing Viddy as I do, I'm sure that's what he'll be looking for.
Cohen. With a pass differential, 421 to 193. Cohen looking for Talbot. Pinpoint. Talbot. Well, the pass.
I think Milosnic has pulled up lame here.
Break and play. Chance to see if that is indeed the case.
He gave up the chase way too easily for me there. I think he pulled up.
He's been on the pitch since half-time, so 13.5 minutes. O'Neill. Pennington, back pass all the way to Sale. And now the ball is put out. You called it, Mossy. This is the last thing that Nikola Milosevich wanted to see. It was only round one that he suffered a hamstring injury against MacArthur. Seems to be undoing the shoelaces on both boots here.
Yeah, he's done for the night, I would say. He was just inside the 18-yard box. He was giving chase to Talbot, I think it was. And straight down to the sheds. Sad sight to see, you never like to see it. Especially a recurring injury.
So Nathaniel Blair has been summoned to come on. Blair, the youngster out of the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy, where he had 13 goals in 10 NPL games in the winter before Perth Glory signed him and took him west. Still looking for that first A-League goal. It's only going to be his 10th appearance for the 20-year-old. And for the second time this season, Nikola Milosevich has to leave the game with Perth subbing the sub due to an injury.
Yeah, it's not going for you, it's not going for you. It's times like this where the dressing room and staff, they all need to galvanise and stick together. The only way out of a situation like this is hard work and belief, and staying together. And there is nowhere to hide.
Of course, these two met in the Australia Cup before the A-League season kicked off. Perth Glory able to win on that occasion, but as we see the first yellow card for the second half, and Nicholas Pennington go in the book for this less than subtle shirt grab.
Yeah, that's right. And again, discipline is probably another thing that I left out before when I said what Perth need.
Taggart, Blair, nearly the perfect introduction. Atkinson came across and won the ball. Politidis. And neither a shot nor a pass in the end, more just a drifter. A missed opportunity.
And a disappointing end to a transition to attack started by, of course, Nathaniel Atkinson, who got back and did a very good job in cover defence.
Taggart, O'Neill, Pennington. Here's Caicedo. Gomulka, knocked it to Lizalowski. Pennington, Caicedo, nearly sent him through. Taggart, just wide. We know what he's capable of. Adam Taggart.
Well, that's almost exactly what he's capable of, Adam Taggart. We know what a goal scorer he is. You have to feel sorry for him tonight. Very rarely has the ball found its way to him because of a lack of protection of the ball and sustained possession. And he has been a lone ranger. It's just shown there, if anyone's going to get them a slight sniff of getting back into this game, it'll be that man, Adam Taggart.
Clash of heads contesting that header.
There he is there, Adam Taggart, a penny for his thoughts. As the leader, as the talisman, the marksman. Sure, he's hurting.
Assessment continues for Andreas Kuen. Here's another look. Lockie Barr. Well, arm to the back of his head.
Yeah, I don't think there's any ill intent there. It's just he was led with the arm.
Pretty good passing accuracy, Mossy. 93% beyond the hour mark.
Yeah. Well, Burnsy mentioned it at half-time in his assessment. He was one of the main men. Kern.
And that's 43 completed passes. Here's Caicedo. Shouts for offside. And he's not able to get the better of Talbot in any case.
It was almost oracle stuff, wasn't it? Teo from Burnsy at half-time.
He's got a very good read on the game, even though as a neutral you hope for a close contest. If it's trending one way, you need to be able to assess it honestly. And on this occasion, Gwen, he's getting frustrated because he's now committed a foul, knocking over Barr, the man who ironed him out just a moment ago.
A little bit of retribution potentially.
10 total fouls in the game. Gunga. Now Lizalowski turning blind onto his left foot. And he'll be relieved that the ball did deflect all the way out. Two minds about where to go here. Didn't want to hit the long back pass. He saw Taggart hanging out anything Woods the keeper, but they've worked this out beautifully. Have City. Now Mehmeti, the youngster, trying to show us what he can do. And an improvised volley slides well wide.
It certainly hasn't been a polished performance from young Mehmeti tonight, but there's certainly been some flashes. He's shown us what he's capable of, and of course the Melbourne City coaching staff are much closer to it than we are on a daily basis, but you've seen some things that you like about him tonight for sure.
Errant pass here, inviting on Politidis. Cohen. Atkinson and Cohen. Atkinson. And Quinn again, they've bought their own ball. Now Ugarkovic, eventually an interruption. Pennington got a header away. O'Neill comes through. Perth are eventually going to shut this down. It just seemed like Melbourne City were getting more and more intricate the closer they got to the penalty area. Now Perth are going to try and hit direct on the counter. Comfortably worked through, though, the back pass. Delivered by Kai Truen. Interesting that he was second in the P+ player index at half-time. He really has just quietly gone about his business tonight, Kai Truen. Samuel Suprayan seems to have won more headers and played more passes out from the back, but Truen's just complimented him perfectly.
Yeah, that's right. Quite often you find that with a central defender. He's gone about his business tonight, done his job. Relishing the move to Melbourne City by Truen.
Jonathan Cohen. Atkinson. Lots of numbers in the box. Politidis, all close. And Mehmeti was making a late run, couldn't make ground in time. I think he can snip his first A-League goal tonight, Harry Politidis.
Yeah, I think he can, but tell you what, Stephen Ugarkovic wasn't far away either here. He was just out of view on that camera angle. And the pace of the ball was too much for him, but if Politidis had cut that back, Ugarkovic was free as a bird on the penalty spot. Sniffing, potentially, a hat-trick.
Crunching challenge Fans find their voice, but the referee had the perfect view. Carluccio protesting. He was the man ironed out. Plenty of players available on the bench for Melbourne City. Matthew Leckie, James Jego, German Ferreira, their Argentine import. Potentially more young talent, Ben Dunbar, Kavian Rahmani, and also Ben Mazzio. Right now, the 11 that started the game is getting the job done. Cohen, and the referee does whistle. He appeared to be legged by Kunga, and right at the edge of the penalty area, it's a free kick.
Yeah, good decision. Daniel Cook, definitely contact there with Cohen. He showed some trickery into the box, driving it that inside, cuts, drops the shoulder, drops the left shoulder, catches Kanga off balance, brings him down just in time to be outside the box. Be interesting to see what Aurelio Vidmar does with Matt Leckie tonight. He's got the luxury.
Oh, asking, you shall receive.
There you go.
We're going to find out. He's coming on for first-time A-League goal scorer Andreas Cohen. We saw the frustration building for him as he was on the end of a tough challenge and then committed a foul of his own, but this was not even 30 seconds into the second half. He made it 3-0, as is the current score.
Gift wrapped about 6 weeks early when presents are supposed to be given. He certainly gratefully unwrapped it and tucked it into the back of the Perth Glory net. Very good performance from Kern tonight.
Perth Glory weren't like the side of Matt Leckie. He scored 4 times in 11 A-League games against them, and all of them since coming back to the A-League from his time overseas. He has really enjoyed playing the Glory in Melbourne City colours. So, a discussion over this set piece. I think Cohen is going to pull rank here, although Talbot is setting up for a right-footed taker. Who's going to win the battle of wills? Get to strike this dead ball. It is Cohen, and the wall does its job, and now the follow-up from Talbot is sliced away. And Kunga has borne the brunt of the full impact of that free kick.
Yeah, well, the wall does its job. Decent strike from Cohen. He did fancy the left footer in that situation. Not for the first time tonight. Kanga takes one for the team. Here's the strike. It looked as though it was partly face, partly chest. Either way, you take a position in the wall, you've got to be prepared to take one.
When you were playing Mossy, were you a wall player, or would you make sure you weren't anywhere near the wall?
Back in those days, I was a charger.
That's pretty dangerous as well.
If memory serves me correctly, that was a long, long time ago, Teo.
Let's check in down on the sideline. Jacob Burns, your latest observations?
Yeah, I've just interesting targets just come over to the bench. I don't know if they're talking about Nathaniel Blair, if something's wrong with his ankle. One to watch. He's obviously only just come on. They've lost Milusinik with a hemi injury. Hopefully they're not having to sub another sub, but time will tell.
Oh, thank you, Jacob Burns. Nathaniel Blair wearing the number 14, so we'll keep a keen eye on him over the next minute or two. See how he's moving. There's a pronounced limp there. Jacob Burns has been eagle-eyed for us on this stuff tonight. Is he going to be able to run this off? there's the live ladder. We mentioned that Melbourne City are chasing Auckland on goal difference. Auckland, of course, with the game in hand. This would put them right up at the top echelon of the table. And for the Perth Glory, that 1 point against the Mariners last week guarantees that they will at least finish above Brisbane Roar at the end of the weekend. So with just over 15 minutes of regulation to go, Melbourne City, they've turned to their bench for Lecky. We're wondering which of their other young talents may get a look before full time. Talbot. Caicedo. Pennington. And a good defensive header from Truan. Gets it back to Beach. Cohen and Schreiber. Atkinson takes the ball in stride and just misses Politidis with his pass. Kanga. Teammate Kamulka was under the pump a bit. Ball booted long. Caicedo trying to make something happen.
Just looking at that live ladder too, a couple of moments ago, Teo, I think I'm right in saying that Melbourne City have got the bye during your night round after the international break, so these 3 points are absolutely crucial for them tonight with 2 weeks off.
As we see a burst of pace from Lizolajski. Cleared away. Kai Truan on hand once again. Pennington. Politidis. And now Cohen. Trying to twist around the corner. It's been intercepted. Glory look to build. Carluccio. And now Blair can't get there before the byline. It's a goal kick. Caught in any case, but it did go long.
Yeah, the ball just seemed to gather some pace there as Blair was trying to run it down. Always a pretty quick surface, HBF Park, and you can see it just gathers pace here as it's going towards the byline. He doesn't quite get there. Trying to wrap his foot around it.
We've got a cramp here, so treatment now for Zane Schreiber. I wonder if that'll be the end of his night as well. You make a great point about the fixturing, Phil, because Melbourne City do not play again until Saturday the 30th of November, home game against the Western Sydney Wanderers. And of course, the Wanderers have got a derby before then, so it's a long way away. Substitution coming up. It is Zane Schreiber's curtain call, and he is going to be replaced by Ben Dunbar. On for just his second appearance, the 18-year-old was at the Central Coast Academy in 2023 and played 20 times for Melbourne City's NPL team over the winter. So he has played his way into the first team, and we're going to see a substitution for Perth Glory as well. Christian Caicedo's debut comes to an end, and he is replaced by 18-year-old Kwa Nyo, who comes on for his 6th career appearance. And Zane Schreiber, his reward for a night's work is a big swig of pickle juice to treat that cramp as he lobs off the pitch. And there is Kwa Nyo, the 18-year-old. It's been a sub that Glory have turned to in every game really so far this season. Still looking for that first A-League goal.
And the other thing about the bye around an international break, of course, Auckland is sitting this weekend out. And then the international break next weekend, so they've got a 2-week break and they were building some real momentum. How they handle that 2-week break is obviously key to how you come out of it. And how David Zadrulich and the Perth Glory coaching staff handle this international break is going to be absolutely crucial. I know that goes without saying, but we've got a lot of work to do, Perth Glory.
Dunbar on and chasing for Melbourne City now, leading the line. Nyo showing us what he can try to do. He's just been collared. Talbot was the player that caught him.
I'd like to see it again, but I think it looked a little more awkward than what it actually was. You know, made the most of it just to ensure he gets a foul here. It's a foul, there's no doubt about it, but I'm not sure it needed that sort of reaction from the youngster.
And indeed, just a foul. No booking to go with it. Play continues. Kunga pops it over the top, looking for Nyo. Cleared away by Trewin. Cohen. Leckie. Ugarkovic and Dunbar. Lair tried to steal the ball away. He's moving much better now, so thankfully he's overcome that little issue he had about 5 minutes ago. Into the last 10 minutes of additional time. 3-0 since the 46th minute of this game. Melbourne City firmly in control. Kunga's crossfield ball. And now Carluccio, did he run out? Assistant referee's right on the scene. And he bursts away again, and now the line looms large.
Well, he did well not to run it out on the sideline, and then unfortunately ran it out on the byline. Seems nothing will go right for Perth Glory tonight. And to be fair, they haven't done enough to make their own luck. Melbourne City have been very good. Use the ball well. If anything, they'll be disappointed they haven't scored more than 3 goals.
So Unite round on neutral territory. Perth Glory actually started all at Allianz Stadium on Friday the 22nd of November. They take on Western United, who themselves, after narrow defeat in Adelaide last night, will be desperate for points. They are yet to win this season. They've got just the 2 points to their name from 4 games. So it'll be 11th versus 12th on the table, assuming nothing out-of-worldly happens in the last 10 minutes here. And that's a high-stakes game to start Unite round, it's safe to say.
It is. And I'll be on the microphone for that one, so I'll be really interested to see how both sides have used the international break. But fantastic concept, Unite round. Can't wait for it. Allianz Stadium over 3 days. Leichhardt Oval for the A-League Women's. Fantastic weekend of football.
Dunbar. Cohen! Great goal! And a first goal in the Isuzu UTE League for Jonathan Cohen. Not the biggest celebration, but it is a moment of quality that his plate tonight has been threatening. He provides the finishing touch.
Well, in the end, it's a creative goal, isn't it, from Jonathan Cohen. He gets the ball out wide on the Harvey Norman replay, drives inside, a couple of touches, but look at this for defending from Perth Glory. This is symptomatic of their night. Always on the back foot, backing away from the ball. You have to defend those situations on the front foot and put pressure on the ball carrier, get their head down and close their angle. They open it up for Cohen and he says, thank you very much. I'll notch my team's 4th for the night.
His first goal in league football since December 2023. So we mentioned in the first half, no striker wants to go a calendar year without scoring. Jonathan Cohen has ensured that with 6 weeks to spare, his name is off the list. He will have his account open, and who knows that they might come in quick succession. He's going to turn provider. Dunbar saved away. Nearly a goal for the 18-year-old. Ollie Sale foils him with a close range stop. As we take another look, it was a tight angle, but Sale had the angle covered. He was able to deflect it away. Now in the first half, this symbol meant that Cohen was going for the Olympico and honing straight in on the target. Is this a repeat? Not quite. It's headed away off the back post by Barr, and the follow-up is driven high and wide. Melbourne City with Atkinson there. They've just got interested in turning up the heat again. The game had been drifting for some time, but now it looks like with the finish line in sight, they might try to run up the goal difference.
Yeah, well, I said only just a few minutes ago, if they're disappointed about anything, it'll be that they'd only scored 3 goals. Now they've got their 4th. And you dare say they've still got time for a 5th.
Here's Dunbar again. He's come on with real energy. There's been no let-up. Leckie, Politides, outside of the foot, and hit it straight at the goalkeeper. For all the improvisation, it was a very conventional shot in the end.
Well, trying too hard to score there because he had a great option at the back post.
Paramount Plus player index. Jonathan Cohen has bridged the gap somewhat to Stephen Ugarkovic, who, to be fair, has added, I think, 8 points to his halftime score on the Paramount Plus player index. Still time for that to swing around. We'll revisit it in the post-game show. In the meantime, Zach Lizolajski is down. So we had the double change at halftime with O'Neill and Milosnic coming on. Then Nathaniel Blair came on for the injured Milosnic, so they've still got another 2 substitution windows here, the Glory, should they want them.
Looks as though that will be the last contribution from Politides and Suprayan. Politides, both players have had a very good night for their side. Politides has been very lively.
And a great moment here for Melbourne City Academy youngster, 17-year-old Kavian Rahmani. 17 years old. There's the other sub that came on. German Ferreira, the 28-year-old Argentine, but for Rahmani, 7 goals in 21 NPL games over winter for Melbourne City's NPL team. He's been a part of the academy for some time, and now he ascends to a first-team debut in the Isuzu UTE A-League Men's. Congratulations to him. And in this time of need, where City have had to look to the academy to step up and fill some of the gaps left by injury, they will be so encouraged by what Mehmeti, Dunbar, and now more youngsters could potentially do. Fantastic moment for him. Two and a half minutes of regulation remain. Carluccio through the challenge of Leckie. Truan, the intercept. Rahmani, first touch. Plays it to the 18-year-old Dunbar. And now back to Rahmani. Young talent time for City. And here's the cross. Mehmeti! A first A-League goal. Look what it means to Jamie Young watching from the sidelines. A brilliant moment for the 17-year-old striker. Medin Mehmeti is off the mark. And it has been a 5-star performance from Melbourne City in Perth.
Well, what a sweeping counter-attack that is from Melbourne City. Started at the back by Kai Truan, intercepting a Perth Glory pass. Then they break down the left-hand side on the Harvey Norman replay, and it's put on an absolute platter for Mehmeti to get his first goal in the A-League. brilliant moment for him and his family, and Jamie Young celebrating from behind the goal. Just shows the type of culture in the dressing room at Melbourne City. Wonderful moment, wonderful finish, and a wonderful performance by Melbourne City tonight.
17-year-old debutant Rahmani wins the ball back, plays it to 18-year-old Dunbar in his second game, and the cross from Rahmani, barely been on the pitch for a minute, an assist to 17-year-old Mehmedi. That's the sort of thing that will have the academy managers and staff walking in with their chests puffed out to the Melbourne City HQ tomorrow.
And they should clip that video up nicely and use that as a selling point to bring some of the best young kids in the country, if they need any more pulling power. Melbourne City, of course, backed by the City Football Group. It is a wonderful advertisement for the A-League, isn't it? Giving young kids a go.
Talbot has fouled Pennington here. Game is going to tick into stoppage time imminently. Well, as much as we've focused on what hasn't worked for Perth, it's little moments like that which is a chance to acknowledge that Melbourne City have been a cut above tonight. And even though there will be a lot of soul-searching over the international break for the glory, at the end of a particularly challenging week with the significant injuries that Melbourne City have suffered, they have found a couple of youngsters here to give them faith for the rest of this season. And the goal difference, Mossy, we did flag it. They have now moved above Auckland on goal difference, albeit with Auckland having a game in hand. 8-4-3 against +5 compared to Auckland, who are 5 scored, none conceded.
Yeah, been a good night all round for Melbourne City, hasn't it? With that 2-week break now. It's very, very timely to get 3 points on the road, score 5 goals, keep a clean sheet. It stays this way. And that's another 2 weeks as well to get some miles in the legs of Matt Leckie.
We haven't seen Jimmy Jego at all tonight. He's been an unused sub. Bar clears. Dunbar pressing from the front. Issue for glory is you've got hungry young academy kids out there who are relishing the chance to play first team minutes. Leckie wins a corner. And Carluccio's down. Just a cramp because he's got the goalkeeper helping him stretch. Here's another look at the run from Leckie and the all effort from Carluccio, and you see the cramp going as he lunged there.
Well, he did well, Carluccio, in the end, but Matt Leckie showing he's still got that turn of speed. He's put on the afterburners.
Eighth corner of the night. A real variety here. Well outside the box to Talbot. Dunbar. Talbot lifting it in. Bar's header and the volley. Well, that was the chance for Ugarkovic to score his hat-trick. And he knows that that was an opportunity to take home the match ball.
Yeah, Talbot just looks up, floats it into the area. It's a deflection from a Perth Glory defender, Rocky Barr. It falls for Ugarkovic. He was just leaning back. Couldn't get onto the front foot to attack that ball. A very good performance from the Melbourne City midfielder.
Second biggest margin in matches between these teams. Unfortunately for the Glory, they have come in consecutive games. And the full-time whistle is relief for the Glory. And Melbourne City, job done in Perth. David Zrilic, there will be soul-searching over the international break. But for Melbourne City, in a week where Marco Tilio went down to a hamstring injury and Andrew Naboot was out for the season with a knee, they have played the kids and they have loved what they've seen. It's going to be a very happy flight back across the Nullarbor for Melbourne City. Kavian Rachmani won't forget his debut in a hurry, had an assist with one of his first touches of the game. And Aurelio Vidmar sees his team, thanks to goal difference, vault up to second on the table. Steven Agagovic's first half double put City in control, and the rest of the game was one-way traffic. Perth Glory 0, Melbourne City 5. Phil Moss, a dominant display from Melbourne City tonight.
Yeah, very much so. Take nothing away from that performance from Melbourne City, but on the other end of the spectrum is Perth Glory, and as you quite rightly said, the soul searching that's going to need to be taken over the next fortnight, especially with new ownership, new football department, a lot of turnover in the dressing room. Things not going according to plan at the moment, but there's a lot of experience there. The likes of Stan Lazaridis, of course, running the football department. Some tough conversations need to be had, there's no doubt about that.
So let's take a look now at your Alex Tobin medal points, Mossy, and who you have voted for in this game. Talk us through